Oh yes, you're welcome again to lesson 3, and today we'll be talking about data sources. You see, we cannot just have data if they don't have somewhere we are getting them from. And that's what we are saying here, that your data is coming from somewhere. So we are getting those data from somewhere, and the places we are getting it are the ones we refer to as sources of data. Okay, so there are 3 basic sources of data, but here I think we'll be covering 2 today. We just cover 2 sources of data, and later on we can actually I'll mention the third one. It's not generally recognized, but usually it is what we know and it is very relevant. Now, the first one is primary data. These are the data that you collect directly from the source, from where it is. So if you go to your farm and you record the number of eggs your birds lay per day, and you record the number of how many bags of feed you give to them every day, you record the number of birds you have on your farm. All those ones, they are primary source of data. If you check their temperature and you record it, you check how many customers are coming to your farm, those are primary source of data because they are coming directly from you. You are getting it directly from that farm, from the source. So that's a primary source of data. And then we have the second one, which is the secondary source of data. A secondary source of data is a data that you are unable to get directly from the source. That is, you got it from somebody who got it from the source. An instance is, you want to start a business and you want to have data about the market you want to go into. Say you want to sell garri, for instance, and you want to know how many people buy garri in Abeokuta, for instance. You want to know how many people eat garri every month, and you want to know what is the market capitalization of garri in Abeokuta, for instance. That is, you want to know how big that market is. That kind of data most likely is going to be secondary data, because you don't have what it takes to now keep going to everybody to start collecting data and then do all the mathematics involved to make sure you get what you need. But this kind of a thing, government agencies could have published reports, some different businesses, NGO organizations could have published different reports that will show you how big the garri market is in Abeokuta. And that kind of a thing is what we call secondary data, because you are not having access to it directly as it's coming from the source. It's coming from someone, and then before you get access to it, and that is secondary source of data. It is collected by others, and then before you have access to it.